seeing a lot of gunning on empty being spread out along actually a pretty decent spread, taking up almost or covering almost the entirety of the bazaar, at least through the alleyways. But at the same time on the Mayhem side, we have a 2-3 split with 3 members of Mayhem choosing to look along this this east side.
Yeah, I've been following the east push here for a minute, and they have been completely unopposed here as they push the east. Not to say that gunning on empty is doing it wrong by not covering the east, but in a lot of teams you will see will actually put a defender kind of aggressively off there into the east to try and at least slow down or maybe even identify a spawn. But we did not see that from gunning on empty. You can look at the overhead map and see they've chosen to more or less stay right on top of the objective. They don't want to give anything away. They don't want to give up too much here, especially on round one. I think, I don't think anybody ever wants to get capped on in round one because that is seriously deflating, but it looks almost as if that's what they're doing. They're trying to protect that objective from being capped here in round one, or maybe just trying to solidify a single point on the board here right away to help them kind of feel a little bit more at ease. Technic here on the backside, though, is cooking a frag. He's going to throw it over, but unfortunately not at the right angle, so PT Jace will stay safe, but just about, 5-10 degrees to the right, and it would have landed almost right in PT Jace's lap.
Yeah, now Technic has given away his position in a way to PT Jace. PT does know that someone is along this north side here. Will be able to radio to his teammates so they can be prepared for any kind of push coming from this north side, which it seems to be that Mayhem is actually opting to go 5 people onto the north side.
Oh, wow. We've got Capitano now here right on the other side of Cool Breeze, who's watching through this window trying to get the advance from the east side. Cappy, it looked like he heard something, but he's not really giving it much attention. He's not going to peek. Oh, maybe he will, slowly coming up the stairs. Yeah, okay, maybe this will take a while.
But Cool Breeze actually finds Technic, but Capitano does know that someone is right there. He actually finds Wookie Win, but it's a trade. So Capitano's job just got easier, but a nice double for Breeze.
Yeah, a very nice double for him, and now Dirt Diver going to pick up James Boak on the north side. That'll be another one down for the troops in Mayhem. They're down to a 2-4 deficit right now. Going in 3 minutes left on the round. Still plenty of time to make something happen here, but it's going to be real tough. It looks like PT Jace going to get a little aggressive now. Potato Bot will pick up Dirt Diver, and PT Jace and Capitano will go ahead and trade. No, they will not trade. Potato will find Dirt Diver confirmation. And that'll leave it to a 3v1. It's all up to Potato Bot now for Mayhem to pull this out of his hat. Or if you know Mr. Potato Head, out of his butt.
Whoa, sir! Watch the language.
Isn't that where the flap on the Mr. Potato Head was?
That is, yeah. It is out of his hiney, but yeah. I guess you could phrase that way when it comes to Potato Head culture. Now, the original Mr. Potato Head used to be just a bunch of things you put on a potato.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, you would supply your own potato, and they would just give you the little things to stick into it. Whoever came up with that idea has to be the most genius person ever. Like, hey, we'll sell a bunch of plastic shit you can stick inside a potato.
Whoa, sir!
And call it a toy, and make millions. God, I need ideas like that. Someone send me an idea where I could rip off people and make millions.
Sometimes the dumbest ideas that get us the furthest. But speaking of dumb ideas, Potato Bot has to come up with some kind of plan.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the switching weapons is going to work at this point, though. Gunning on Empty is aware that they've lost everyone on that side, or they should be anyways if they've been checking their tablets. So I don't really think that this alternative sound of gunfire is really going to... Oh, PT Jace gets just by Potato Bot. If he's not careful, he's going to run right by him again. Oh, the timing. The timing.
Yeah, and Potato Bot is able to hear exactly where people are. He's putting out smoke, which kind of heralds his position.
Oh, he saw. Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like he saw PT Jace there at the tail end. He does manage to get up the stairs and get the shots in. Now it's a 1v2, but he's only got less than a minute left. He's got to start moving now.
Yeah, and the smoke is once again probably not helping his situation the best because his cover has been blown. They know exactly where he's coming out of.
Well, I think he's more concerned about being seen than them knowing where he's coming from, because he's made his way out now. He's going to be able to get right around Arno. This could be a cap right here, actually. No, Beardsteak going to come around the corner. Potato's not ready for it. A ballsy attempt at a cap goes unanswered, as Lord Beardsteak gets the kill onto Potato Bot, and Gunning on Empty get their first round on the map.
Yeah, Gunning on Empty, like I said, they like to play and find these spots, just hold them for the entirety of the 6 minutes, or as long as they possibly can. And they will punish if you don't check every single one of those spots.
Yeah. Yeah, well, some of these maps, it does get to be a bit tedious, right? You know, checking every little nook and cranny hole and this and that gets to be a bit excessive at times. Like, so it's a bit, I don't know, it's an interesting concept. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, folks.
It's okay, it happens. You know, it's like 9 o'clock where I'm at. The train of thought gets derailed a lot for me.
Listening to Mayhem talk to me in the spawn. It's like, sorry, Sleepy. James spoke in his New Zealand accent.
He's not that much further away from the boys of Gunning on Empty. Probably just popped across the pond. And speaking of which, James Boak downs Dirt Diver. Doesn't completely kill him, so the res can come out, but a nice shot coming off the start.
Where did he go down at, though? Oh, is he the guy in the west? Oh, yeah, okay. Wow, he made it really far off that spawn very quickly. My goodness. But yeah, maybe that's James Boak getting out some aggression for not being asked to join the Straya Kiwi team of New Zealand and Gunning on Empty. I'm sorry, I'll stop doing accents now, because I know every member of Gunning on Empty and James Boak will both come at me with Bowie knives. Oh, see, that one slipped out.
I mean, you can't say Bowie knives without the accent. It's just...
I mean, I know, right? It's not a knife. This is a knife. That's more British. I don't know. I'm losing it.
Well, speaking of sharp edges, Cool Breeze will probably be coming out for the res on his brother. If you didn't know, Cool Breeze and Seth Bowden are brothers IRL.
No, how many brothers and siblings are we gonna have playing this game?
I brought my whole family to this.
Your whole family?
Yeah, Riot is literally all my brothers. I'm messing with you.
I was like, I want birth certificates, I want proof.
Arno gets caught up by Potato Bot, and James Boak gets the confirm on Dirt Diver, thus making any of Breeze's attempts futile. And James Boak actually finds PTJs, bringing it down to a 5v2 for Mayhem.
Yeah, James Boak said, that's for New Zealand, you Australian scum.
Tied on objective.
Because, right, don't Australians and New Zealanders like have like a little, I mean, it's not like a legitimate beef or anything, but they love to pick on each other and whatnot.
I think so. I'm not an expert.
Maybe it is a more serious thing, and I'm making too light of it. But
maybe when it comes to like sports, but aside from that, Cool Breeze, I think he hears.
Oh, he definitely heard that call out. I mean, he saw James Boak for sure, and he did wing him. James Boak, though, immediately given that call out. So Cool Breeze will be aware and attentive to it, but I don't think he's going to be quite ready for James Boak. He doesn't have any idea where he is, so peeking the stair top, while dangerous and completely unrecommended, he does manage to secure a kill from it.
Gunning Empty having a hard time getting onto objective. It is up to one man left, Beardsteak, and as I say that, he goes down, and everything gets tied back up.
Yeah, a solid defensive round there from Mayhem, and a nice kind of recuperation from that, well, not so great that not so great Marsoc round. And now it seems that Gunning on Empty having a bit of the same problems, not really being able to execute yet on Marsoc, at least not so far. But it's round 2, so we still have a lot of matches to go through tonight. We still have a lot of map to go through here on Bazaar. So, of course, plenty of time for all of that. But yeah, right now it seems like both teams are having a little bit of difficulty on the execution side of their Marsoc play. Otherwise, defenses are looking very strong. So I really hope we don't go to like a defense trade-off for the entire series, but you never know. It could happen.
Yeah, and, you know, bleh. Sorry, I was reading something. Bazaar is one of those maps where you can easily turn it around just off of objectives and whatnot.
Oh yeah, comebacks happen all the time on this map, and like really good ones, like 3-0 to 4-3 comebacks happen on this map all the time. I mean, caps are just so dangerous here.
And speaking of capable objectives, we will have the ice cream truck or Humvee objective next, and I think that's probably one of the easier ones to get up on. And because it's got so many obstacles in the way that allow Marsoc to get pretty close.
Yeah, but usually your defense isn't going to give away too much either. Plus, you have those massive road crossings with bad smoke placements. You're just an open buffet of kills for the defense, especially from a few key positions around the map, defending this spot. But I don't know. I think Mayhem is, I've been watching their games now for the last few weeks because I'm very interested in their play, and I've been quite impressed with their ability to execute. Well, of course, they're still working their way up the ladder, so they've still got quite a few tests, limits tests ahead of them as far as like competing in the top 10 and maintaining that position there. But I think they definitely have the ability to do it, and I think they're some great guys. You know, Vivian did that interview with them, and we got to get a real insight into the minds of Mayhem, and I think that was great. And I can't wait to see more of those come out for more teams across the league. But also just because you can really learn about your fellow players, even when you may not have the chance to say go to a LAN event and hang out with them. It gives you a good idea of who's who and what kind of person they are. But
No.
I am definitely a big Mayhem fan right now, so while I don't want to say that I'm pulling for them in this map, I do want to see them.
You can.
Do well
I'm pulling
overall.
for Gunning on Empty because I'm friends with
Okay,
Seth.
fine. Well, I'm not enemies with anybody, but
it just balances it out,
There you go.
Just balances all things perfectly balanced as all things should be. Put it that way.
I think as long as I'm not cheering on danglers, no one cares, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no one's ever gonna care about that. James Bogue firing down the West Mini Market, trying to see if he can catch anyone, but none of the members of Gunning on Empty have actually opted to go there. They're all holding a pretty tight objective, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're doing almost exactly like they did on the first round. It's just they obviously I don't know if they're just overtly concerned about caps coming out from Mayhem, or if they just really don't want to give up any unnecessary defensive rounds. But yeah, this is the second round in a row that they played defense very tight and very reserved, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm not saying that because they're playing it this way, they're playing it wrong. They're definitely not. I mean, this is a defensive strategy style. That the turtling strategy is one that is
and
real.
Lord Beardsteak and Wookie are going at it. Wookie going around with a quick thing, but Beardsteak tries to go for the nade, doesn't work, and Beardsteak pays for it with his life.
Yeah, so the decision there to grab the flashes, though intelligent in their thought, you just didn't have the execution time to be able to do that. Wookie was right there, and he was already suppressing you. Going for the grenades was probably a risky move. Cool Breeze, though, will find Capitano on the cross. Wookie is trying to find his way in from the backside. Now he's engaged with PT Jace once. I think Jace trying to find a different angle to watch from down the street, maybe to get a tight angle. But if Wookie can just make it a couple of feet out here, or if he sees him, the shots rang out for PT Jace. That's not going to be good. That's going to allow Wookie to know where he is. Potato Bot is actually just outside the objective. He's going in to the blue room. Todd, you're going to have to follow that one. I'm going to stick with Wookiee here.
Oh, yeah. Jace is actually moving back onto objective. He's giving up his position. Technic is on objective. And Dirt is right there. Oh, and what a defense. Dirt gets caught out.
A little bit more coordination from Mayhem there, and that would have been a cap.
And now we're on to a 1v1. And Wookiee finds PT Jace, thus giving Mayhem their Marsoc win and officially take the lead.
Wow. And here I was saying that, you know, they haven't been able to execute on Marsoc yet, and then in the very next Marsoc round, they do just that. Now, Technic right there on the objective had a shot for the cap, but Seth Dirt Diver.
Seth Dirt Diver Bowden.
Seth Dirt Diver Bowden was right there with his LMG to get the kill.
Spraying a fresh dose of America. Yeah, I can't do that. I officially live in the South, but I just don't have that twang.
Yeah, I didn't either. It's funny.
You're from Cali. That's like a whole different accent, man.
You do realize that I moved to Cali only like 7 years ago, right?
Hey, that's how long it takes
to. Virginia.
Oh, same here. I live in Virginia, man. No way. It's a small world.
We're not gonna have a bonding session or anything right now, but we'll talk about that later after the cast.
That's awesome, man.
Because I also met somebody in an event that's coming up for OC6 next week, who asked in a group chat why I had a 540 phone number or area code in my phone number, and they happen to be from the exact city that I left when I moved out here to LA, and they're gonna be up in OC6 next week. It's crazy.
It's a very small world, especially
it really
in VR.
is, man. Oh yeah, it's a small world in general. I work in hotels, and like meeting people that used to live like a block away from me is a really it's an odd feeling, you know what I mean? Like to have someone who lived down the street from you, and that you greet them or meet them in real life like as a part of your job across the country. It's insane. But anyways, We're back to it now. It's round 3, map 1 still. Mayhem just securing a Marsoc point there. Gunning on empty, going to be looking to return the favor now. And Mayhem playing a little bit more aggressively on the defense, out away from the objective just a tad, but not really much different. Let's see how Gunning on empty handles this attack.
Gunning on empty have pushed up here pretty substantially, taking up that first block. But Boak or Breeze will not see each other at all on the multiple peaks that have come out. Take a quick look at how Mayhem is actually defensively set up. They've completely opted not to go over to the east block. They're going to choose to defend themselves completely from the west block. Actually, my mistake. They do have Wookiee in the west. The map deceived me because the colors of the buildings look surprisingly like the arrows, so my apologies there.
Yeah, we'll settle on a UI color for Volk eventually.
all the time, but that's okay.
Yeah, no,
it's already a great UI as is.
Well, I mean, at least it has a UI.
Yeah, no.
I mean, there's some very poor versions of spectate mode. Some shot suppression ringing out from the east side as Gunning on empty is trying to make their cross now. I don't think Mayhem's really going to be too concerned about it. Honestly, they'll probably even let them get across the street unless they have the easy shots. Their defense is strong. I kind of like this like straight line from north to south, right on top of the objective, essentially. The one guy in the south is a little off kilter, and then you got one guy out east, one guy out west. I like it.
Yeah, Gunning on empty are a very meticulous team. They like to check every single one of their corners, but however, that could be their downfall when it comes down to the last minute. When the pressure gets on, being meticulous is not the thing. You have to be really witty and instinctual if you want to get somewhere, especially on Marsoc. Shots coming out across the street, trying to find Dirt Diver, but they do not. Two members of Gunning on empty, my apologies, will get across to the south side.
Should I just turn your map upside down so so you can read it.
Yeah, tell the devs to do that. I always
I'll let
viewed this
Wookie
side
win.
as
He'll pick up a nice pick. Huh?
I always viewed
All
this side
maps are
as
north oriented.
Yep. More shots coming out as the confirmation comes out from Wookie, as Gunning on Empty and Mayhem are evenly matched at 4 apiece.
Yeah, so what I was going to say when you were talking about Gunning on Empty and their meticulousness in checking corners, that is fantastic. I mean, attention to detail is great. Situational awareness is key. But in a map like Bazaar, spending too much time checking every corner on your route is going to eat up a lot of your play clock. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing here right now. I mean, I could be wrong. It
Yeah,
could
we've
just
already gone
be
through
a
half.
slow force of push here, but you know, they're in striking range at least at 2 minutes. I think. Well, I'm not going to say I think, because what I would normally say is I would prefer to see a team starting to strike the objective at 2 minutes 30, 2 minute mark, rather than being set at 2 minutes, because if you're striking at 2 minutes, you still have that time to adapt, and then if you're striking under that time, there's just really not enough time to recover. Also, if you have to reroute, fall back, and attack from a different lane, you're taking even more time.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, but Dirt Diver sees Wookie, but Wookie actually gets creative with the C4 and tags out Dirt Diver. You may continue.
Well, I lost my place now. So. No, it's fine. I mean, the point was made. I prefer personally to see teams set up and strike at 2 minutes 30, not be in position at 2 minutes 30 and strike with what's remaining after that, because now, as you can see, we're down to a minute, and it's just Arno, and he does have some more support from Lord Beardsteak, but Lord Beardsteak is going to be so far back now that he's got no support. Technic going to be able to pick up that pick, and now it's all up to Lord Beardsteak. He's a minute out, and he's still got 100 meters or so to go. Well, now he seems like he's checked his watch, because he's on the move quickly now.
But Wookie pushing. It also seems to be on it as well. Wookie is about to round the corner, tosses a nade out in front, does not catch Beardsteak. Beardsteak will go around, check the corner, checks corner number 2. Knows Wookie's there, but is not able to react fast enough. Potato Bot actually will catch Beardsteak on that. My apologies, I thought that was Wookie.
Well, yeah, you would have thought it would have been, because considering that the chase was happening. But yeah, he did have a sight line on it from over in the objective building. So far, so good, though. I mean, even though Mayhem has kind of pulled out a gap here in the score at 3-1, it's really not that spread, you know. All the rounds have been very close. A lot of trades, a lot of last-minute pushing. It's just overall, I'd say effectively, it's a great match so far. Sorry about that. I don't know why I decided to walk over and pick up my Pro Tube at this time.
It happens, you know. It's just habit. When you're watching Onward, it's just the greatest thing is just pick up that Pro Tube. Speaking of which, these are sponsored by Pro Tube and VR covers, so definitely go check out their products. They have great stuff on their stores. Support them because they support us.
That is right, and definitely drop by and say hi to them, because Boren will not be at OC6, unfortunately, but a few members of the Pro Tube team will be. So stop on by. They're great guys, really nice guys. Some of them don't speak much English, though, so might have to keep it short. But they know
translate out,
and that's all that matters. But yeah, no, I actually don't even remember what that Pro Tube felt like in my hands anymore. I don't know what playing this game is.
Yeah, I mean, you're a league moderator. You don't have to play the game anymore. You've retired.
Jeez.
This is retirement.
Yes, I do. I need to play the game more so that I'm more in touch with what's going on in the player base.
Man.
Like that is not my.
Just enjoy your retirement. Just enjoy your retirement.
I don't want to retire. God damn it! Sorry, I keep letting those go. I don't want to retire. Gosh darn it! I want to come in there and wreck all of you, so you can stop giving me crap about just modding. I'll show you how little shaking it takes to knock this rust off.
Now we hop into round 5, I believe. I kind of just push buttons at this point. But, ooh, Potato Bot will find Dirt Diver right off the bat, crossing the street.
Oof. Yeah, I think that's where we've been seeing a lot of usage of the smokes from defense now. I've seen it in a lot of European plays so far. Teams will use smokes and put them right at the end of the street now on defense. And I think I just figured out why. It's to keep them from getting that quick pick as the defender tries to rotate into that blue garage. And man, Technic was Potato Bot was all over that in the start of this round.
Yeah, he knew exactly where to look, exactly what would happen, and Diver can get a little aggressive at times. He likes to change it up every once in a while. From being a slowpoke to fast rabbit. The rest of Gunning on Empty are actually choosing to be relatively tight on objective. They haven't even extended a block yet.
Yeah, just their one man in the north is kind of their crazy man. He's crazy up there. That's way far off, bro. I wouldn't. No, I'm just kidding.
That's insane. That is absolutely
playing
insane.
it too risky. Oh my god. No, but I would say that if I were to have him in a position, and it looks like maybe that's what he's trying to do now, I would have him slide over across the street where a lot more defenders these days are taking to watching the south push. Now, it's risky because a lot of players are also now starting to pre-fire this spot, starting to smoke the spot, flash it, frag it, you name it. But I think Cool Breeze is doing exactly what I would have wanted for him to do in this situation, though I would have wanted for him to prone his way forward a little bit so his legs aren't sticking into that pallet.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Shots coming out on the north side here as James Bogue tries to tag anyone who's out in this mini market. A crucial defending point for this objective, wouldn't you say?
Yes, absolutely. This side of the approach really needs to be locked down because if you don't and you do allow attackers to get into that market, there's so many options that they can choose. Like they can sit there and kind of wait it out for a second and decide, like, okay, do I go kind of directly at the objective? Do I back off a little now and rotate through the blue room and try and go up through the street now? Let Wookie win. We'll find Cool Breeze, and there goes the south defense. The north is now breaking down, and Gunning on Empty is going to be dealing with 3 members of Mayhem crashing in from the one side, all while they still have 2 members coming in from the opposite.
Yeah, the wonders of a 5v3 really puts the pressure on the defense because then at least two of the members have to defend 2 positions that they normally wouldn't have to. And we get to see that little defensive shuffle going on where people are running around and Technic and Potato Bot each find a kill of their own.
And that's Arno all by himself, but I do not see Mayhem going for this cap here. I see them going for the safe play and ending the map. Well, they're not going to get an option to take the cap anyways, as the firefight will proceed, and Arno and Let Wookie Win will trade, and Mayhem will take our map 1 4-1.
Really good turnaround from Mayhem after losing the first round, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. They did what they had to do. They took a loss on their first Marsoc round, which, of course, to be fair, was understandable. Gunning on Empty playing very solid defense that entire game, really. And then, yeah, the next time they were on Marsoc, they're like, okay, it's time we put this thing here, and it's exactly what they did. They shoved it into first gear, dropped the clutch, and just tore out of there. And it worked. They ended up taking the map with a nice little score spread, 4-1. Number 2, which is looking like it's gonna be a bit of a banger as well. Looks like we're gonna have downfall for map number 2.
You beat me before I could even get to the war room. But yes, it will be downfall for whoops.
It's a curse of not being able to see what my host is doing.
Yeah. It's a slightly more ghetto. At least slightly ghetto. Slightly more ghetto
no, it's
casting.
It's
but we do a
bad.
great job.
We just haven't found a solution.
One day, the technology will develop. One day.
Well, I can say that I'm glad that if they're going to play Downfall, they're playing it on map 2 and not map 3 because...
Oh, man. That is not the way you want to finish a map. No offense, but it's just... Woo.
No, it's Well, it's not a way I want to finish the series, because if it goes to map 3, especially if it's a series decider for map 3, oh my goodness, those are 6-minute rounds, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Sometimes they can be a lot of fun, the 6-minute rounds.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying that just because it's a 6-minute round, it's automatically going to be boring. I mean, the first 4 minutes of it probably will be, but yeah, I mean, you know, teams feel that they need 6 minutes to, you know, do their thing, so that's what they get. And I will have to either learn to deal with it or learn to deal with it, because I don't really have an option.
There you go.
But no, I don't personally care about that, to be honest. Like, play your game how you want, but I do feel that there are some fallacies in thought when it comes to the late strikes. I think there's some adjustments that some teams could make in order to become more effective and more efficient, but whether they choose to listen to me or think that my ideas are valid or worthwhile is always going to be up to them. And I don't hate or dislike anyone if they don't go with recommendations that I make. My recommendations are just that. They are recommendations. If you don't like them or do not wish to follow them, you don't have to. And everyone's safe, and everyone's alive, and everyone's happy. No one has to get all mad and throw salt shakers at each other.
Well, looking back at the rosters here, Mayhem have opted to actually sub a player out right now. They will be subbing Wookiee out for one of their other members. Who do you think it's going to be?
I really don't know.
It's a bit of a harder question.
It is. Are we? Hold on. Let me look at their roster real quick, because I don't know their roster by heart. So.
Man, I expect you to know these things.
Really?
Not really. No.
I'm like, Todd, you have some seriously jaded expectations of me as a moderator. Like, they don't have anyone to be able to. Oh wait, yes they do. Defilade would be the only person,
and that would be a
they could
really
bring in.
good person to bring in, because he is
he's
a
their
master sniper. Yes.
Yeah, I bet you that's exactly what's happening.
Defilade is probably one of the best players in the league when it comes to a sniper rifle.
Honestly, I remember Defilade when he first started playing, and I don't even know if this was when he was on a team yet. I think this is when he was just playing in comp lobbies, and he would always run the iron sights on weapons, and I was always just amazed by how well he would do with iron sights in this game. I mean, there are some weapons where the iron sights actually aren't boo-boo, and I can act like the AK-5C. I actually quite enjoy those iron sights on that weapon, but others I can't see or can't use, so I don't ever use them, and I usually will use red dots or reflexes. But hold on, sorry, Wookiee's game is playing up. Okay, so
we're not having the sub out. Wookiee will still be playing.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be cool to see Defilade. I haven't seen him in a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Maybe he's busy with, real life things. That does happen. Unfortunately, when your team is the size of Mayhem, though, those can be catastrophic at almost any time.
Well, we go into map 2 now. First round, Gunning on MT are the first one to attack, and they will have the quick spawn over the Marsoc Towers.
Yeah, and you can see Mayhem not really even wanting to get into position until they've confirmed what spawn it is. Man, they do so much with situational information. It's amazing. I gotta give it to James Boak, because I know he does a lot of the leading on the battlefield, especially when Defilade isn't around. That guy makes some really excellent calls for being in the heat of battle, reading a battlefield. I've been seeing actually a lot more of that overall. I think we just talked about it on the V-Respawn show yesterday about, I think it was Cap or Neox from Dead Logic. And we were talking about how he was basically running down like almost a minute by minute breakdown of how the attack needed to happen. Like, this person needs to attack from here and watch for this person here, blah, blah, blah. And it almost actually worked out. But to be able to see someone be able to read the battlefield like that and give call outs is just impressive. Technic, though, under a bit of suppressive fire from Lord Beardsteak in the North Hotel, or in the North Marsoc Darkroom. He's going to take a little bit more solid cover as he tries to defend his castle up on the hill.
I think he's actually completely ready for the counter to his position. He's almost using the position as the objective itself. Because to anyone who's basically trying to take this route, the valley route, you have to take that white tower.
Yeah, it's pretty much imperative that if you don't take it, you at least kill whoever's in there. Even if it means sacrificing a person to do it, you just got to get rid of that person up there. Well, I guess so much for this objective, not so much. You don't really have to take down that person for this objective, but it would entail, you know, driving long north routes to go down the west street where you're going to have the best protection and coverage from that position. Meanwhile, as I've been flapping my gums, which I'm doing very well tonight without doing anything else, Cool Breeze and PT Jace are both taken down from members of Mayhem. I believe it was Wookiee with both of those.
Potato Bot.
Oh, yes, it is Potato Bot. He's the only one with kills on their team. Thank God for map 1. Or round 1.
Round 1, yeah.
When the scoreboard tells you exactly what you want to know.
Arno is actually completely... Well, he is watching, but... Technic might get a beat on him really soon, especially if he goes into that other room. Arno's actually choosing not to kill Technic, even though he does know someone is up there, but... He's betting on the fact that Technic will not rotate into that other room where he... Technic, if he did, it would be catastrophic because he'd have a clear line of sight.
He's not going to have a clear line of sight to the room right next to him. If he goes back in the main house, he'll be able to see him.
Yeah, in the main house is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the little concrete room on the other side of that little outhouse he was sitting in a moment ago.
Well, that's where he was. But now he's actually rotated into the main room, but it's too late. Arno has taken cover inside one of the main 2-story houses.
Well, Seth has definitely identified Technic's position and does connect with the shots almost as soon as Technic slides out. But Technic will be down and not dead, so he's going to be able to provide his teammate with some pretty key information still. He will basically be a mobile radio antenna for the time being. But at least he didn't do it to himself to do it.
Yeah, no, that's been a... Ugh. I remember exactly watching that, and that was what...
All I remember as Wookiee grabs Dirt Diver is that it was... I remember seeing the clip. I was doing something else. What was I doing that day? I don't know. I think I might have been casting another game even. But I remember seeing that clip get posted, and I'm just like, oh, my DMs. My poor, poor inbox.
Yeah, me and Noman were right there, and I'm not gonna name names because, you know, all of that has been settled. But
oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it to try and bring more heat onto the player or onto the situation. I was just being kind of facetious and snarky. But no, I love Scooby to death. He is a genuinely super nice guy. So while I know emotions ran high and a lot of people got very aggressive with him, you know, he is a genuinely nice person and a very intelligent person. I mean, he didn't just come up with that idea because he's a moron and he thinks, oh, I'm
going to interrupt the love fest here. Arno knows exactly where Potato Bot is actually, but he also knows where James Boak is, and I don't think James specifically knows where Arno is, and that could actually play for Gunning on Empty's side here as the rotations come out from Arno trying to fool Boak. Boak launches a nade out, but it's a little too early. Oh yeah, just a little too early. But Boak might get caught up by Arno, but no! Wookiee actually has Boak's back and tags Arno for him, and Wookiee goes for the C4 suicide, a victory.
I was waiting for when Wookiee was going to shoot Arno. He really let him get a lot closer than I would have thought onto Technic's position there, but, or not Technic, but James Boak's position there. But, you know, overall, they did find it. Wookie did manage to peek out just at the right time to stop Arno from being able to take down his teammate. And, yeah, and Mayhem secure another round.
Score total right now is 5-1. Mayhem have taken a 4-1 victory on Bazaar right now. Gunning on Empty are in this to stay in right now. Do you think they can? Do you think they can pull off a reverse here? Kind of in the same way how Mayhem pulled it on Bazaar.
Well, so this should be Gunning on Empty's choice. So I would assume that they are planning to you know, come out strong here on the second round and really take it to Mayhem. But I don't know. Mayhem has been playing very tight, though. You know, Gunning on Empty will have their opportunities still as they have their defensive rounds, and those are, you know, usually the ones that are the easiest for teams to secure. But we'll have to see. Mayhem going to get that same quote-unquote quick spawn as the last time as we go into map 2, round 2 here on Downfall. If you're just joining us, Mayhem able to secure first map Bazaar 4-1 after a little bit of a faulty start with Gunning on Empty grabbing the first point. Now it's the opposite. Mayhem's grabbed the first point, and Gunning on Empty are going to be the ones trying to claw back from behind.
We'll see a bit more of a staggered push coming out of Mayhem this time around. It looks like 2 members are actually opting to go along this ridge line here, which we've seen Mayhem, you know, knee Stone Cold Killers do so effectively. See how that far ridge push does for them. Keep in mind, headsets are getting better nowadays, so it's far easier to spot people out along these far pushes, especially in unknown spots. Quick gander onto the map here. Gunning on Empty have actually opted to go for a really tight objective with the exception of PT Jace, who's in that white room, kind of keeping an eye over everything as of right now.
Sorry about that, Todd. Had a bit of a coughing attack. I didn't want the folks at home to have to...
Yeah, I was wondering why you were so silent.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, did Sleepy die? How did I get him to shut up finally? It's fine. It's fine. I dealt with that a lot as a kid.
We love your voice. We love your ramblings, your stories of your childhood.
Have I told childhood stories yet?
Not yet, but you probably will be by the end of this cast.
No, a lot of my childhood stories are depressing. We don't deal with those. No, I'm just kidding. I had a fine childhood. Please do not feel sorry for me.
Us Virginian kids, we have the best childhoods.
I don't know about that. I mean, we live in a state that's torn between history and progression, so...
That leads to a pretty interesting childhood, in my opinion.
It sure does. Anyways, Gunning on Empty trying to hold things off here. Mayhem not quite in the position to attack. We've had about half the round tick away. I don't think there's been any shots fired yet. I can't recall. There might have been 1 or 2 maybe suppressive shots or check shots or something, well, but nothing connecting, that's for sure. And Mayhem just slowly getting into position. I do like this, though. They've got a nice kind of noose position going on here. They're surrounding the objective, and I'm sure that they're going to be going in for kind of a nice constriction effect once they get everybody exactly where they need to be. But PT Jace might actually see Wookie. He does. Wookie tries to fire on Jace in time, but he's not able to connect. However, Arno, or Technic, I'm sorry, will be kind of right there near him and hopefully able to get the angle on the window, but I don't really see that happening. It's a very slim angle for sure. PTJ is going to peek again. That is his mistake. Never double peek, especially when someone is sniping at you, because they have a better scope resolution than you do, and they will see you first.
And you don't really have much room to go out, especially when
Yeah,
you're blocked by a door.
yeah. Well, in that in the angle that he was in was so slim that if Technic nailed that shot at all, he was dead. Potato Bot's inside now with Dirt Diver. It's on the ground floor. Dirt Diver upstairs. Potato Bot probably going to be looking to try and get some of those picks off the objective to open things up for his team. If I were Technic, though, I'd be trying to get myself down that hill and get into position, because if Potato Bot can get these picks right here, he could slide in from the backside completely unaware or undetected. Cool Breeze will pick up James Boak in the exchange.
Bring it down to a 3v4. It could be a 4v2 here if Dirt Diver is able to execute his plan perfectly.
Yeah, it looks like Potato Bot is completely oblivious, and he's gonna slide right out into into Dirt Diver's view, and that'll be another kill for him. 2 members of Mayhem left, and they're the ones farthest off the objective. Technic now in a full sprint down the hill, and Capitano not quite yet in motion. But maybe he is just going to try and provide Overwatch cover as Mayhem attempt to break the bank and go in. But to be honest with you, Technic is kind of free and clear here. If Cool Breeze doesn't take the peek out of that doorway, if Technic gets inside, he takes down Arno. That's cap. It's 38 seconds.
Ooh, don't crouch there, buddy.
Yeah.
Technic has run into the doorway. He's moving in. Arno's around the side here. Will he get it? Oh, he gets a little too greedy, and Arno's able to complete that kill. It is now up to the last remaining member of Mayhem, Capitano, and he gets caught out by Dirt Diver.
Yeah, that one really wasn't planning on going too well, unfortunately, no matter what, especially with Capitano not really supporting Technic immediately on the objective. There was really no other way, because then Cappy was forced to just kind of sprint right at the objective, and as we can see what happened, he get caught out in the open, and the round goes to Gunning on Empty. So Gunning on Empty able to tie that one up there, as kind of to be expected. I really think that we'll be seeing mostly defensive round trades here, but I'm hoping that we can see a Marsoc win or even a cap on Downfall. I love watching people get caps on Downfall.
Oh yeah, Downfall, it's always such an exciting map when you see people approaching objective, mainly because there's just so many angles that you can hold that you have to clear past it, so it gets really intense moving up close to objective, especially this one. Or at least what was this one, because now we're going to go through the map rotation, because this is about to be round 3. I think the crucial lesson to be learned from that last thing is always clear middle hotel. You can't just go downstairs and assume that you're clear, because there could be some person on the top level, on the middle level. And as Potato Bot learned the hard way, that could really shoot you in the ass. In the butt, I'm sorry. Now I'm cursing. But
my bad manners rub off on you.
Yeah. You are a negative influence. I think it's negative influence on my casting, Sleepy.
I'm an anti-mod.
Sorry, I had to do that because the expression wouldn't carry over. We will have... Oops, let me not leave the overlay on this time. Not that I have before, ever, at all.
Ooh, he's throwing shade at Nightfire.
No, I have left the overlay on in previous casts, so I make a conscious effort not to.
I think it's something all casters are guilty of at least once. When I first started casting, I remember having watched so many of Nightfire's streams where he unfortunately does leave the overlay on. And again, this is way back. He doesn't do that really anymore. Maybe once in a blue moon, but again, even still very rare. But yeah, because of watching that so much, and obviously as a viewer and watching the other viewers get all kind of huffy and puffy about it, I always tried to make sure to not do that when I first started casting. Like it was like in my brain,
sin.
Do not leave the overlay on. Like always make sure to hit that gameplay button.
think they should
But
make it like
yes.
flash on our software that we use to cue these scenes.
Well, what I did instead was actually start making my transitions audible in my own ear, so I can hear when I actually change the scene without having to. Because I run on a single monitor setup, unlike Nightfire or others who have multiple monitors and can put different windows and different things. I have to alt tab to everything, so it's a bit of a pain, yes, but it can be done. But it's a nice way to know that something has switched without having to actually go and check it. I
Now,
don't know why I'm telling you this on cast, though.
yeah, I'm just
It's a weird day for sleepy folks.
it's always a weird day when it comes to the casting. You never know what happens.
That's true. I mean, with the kind of games we've been seeing lately, man, so many crazy plays, just amazing comebacks, awesome wins, like teams winning and beating other teams, like beginners in Globo losing as much as they have this year already, like is just mind-boggling. I mean, I know Globachem's a little weak right now. They're not really in the groove that they used to be. I don't know what's going on with beginners because not being from the EU, I don't have as much time to converse and communicate with those folks. But yeah, it seems that things are really getting shaken up, which is nice. I think it is something that the league needed. Because if Globachem and beginners, take the next 3-4 seasons again, people are just going to stop playing, and not really because it's not fun, but it's like, well, if no one can beat Globachem, even if it's not us, but if no one can beat them, is it really that fun anymore?
Yeah, it'd be really
Everyone
cool
wants
to
to
see
be number
someone
one.
else other than Global Camera Beginners be able to take the cup.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, and nothing against those two teams. I love both of those teams and their players
Oh yeah,
immensely, but
nothing but respect. But it's always fun to see a new challenger come up, especially with VRL and G-Man almost put up a really good
that's what
fight.
you literally took the words out of my mouth. Like I never have rooted for a team against GlobalChem as hard as I did G-Men during that VR League Season 3 finals, but as I say that, Mayhem going to find 2 downs, 1 to down, 1 to kill. Lord Beardsteak is down and out of the fight. PTJ's sitting down here by the dumpster building. Mayhem, a solid defense thus far here on the ice cream truck, body truck, cadaver truck, whatever building you want to call it. And more shots ring out. Cool Breeze, though, able to find Potato Bot. Now leveling things out just a bit for Mayhem.
Yeah, Gunning on Empty kind of do have the edge. As I say that, Dirt Diver does find Wookie in a pretty decent pick. Oh.
Oh, yeah, he got
He
him
was
from
on
the center.
objective, yeah. Oh, no, he was on center. Yeah, center motive.
Yeah, he was in the second floor of the center hotel. That pretty common defense spot, watching backwards over the objective to make sure no one pulls that Stumpy Nub cap. Even though there was someone in that exact position when Stumpy Nub pulled that cap against Mayhem on this exact objective. Mayhem are probably they probably have PTSD from that cap because their defensive setup for this objective is completely different from the day that I watched them play Danglers, and that cap came out here. So they've completely changed up. They're definitely not allowing anyone to get that cap anymore.
I mean,
But good on them. They saw a hole and it was exploited and they adjusted it. So good on them for that.
Capitano finds Arno, giving Mayhem that. What's the word? Evening up for Mayhem, but as I say that, Breeze finds the refrag on Boke.
And Capitano there by the objective, and now it's a trade, and thank goodness for Gunning on Empty. They've got Seth or Dirt Diver still alive up there. Cool Breeze trades with Technic last man alive. And Gunning on Empty find a Marsoc round. So now it's back to defense where they could sit back and hold the map on defense to close things out and send us into a series decider for map 3.
5-3 now. Gunning on Empty are kind of, clawing it back.
They sure are.
Question is, will they be able to keep that momentum and carry it through all the way to be able to force map 3? What are you thinking, Sleepy?
Oh, nothing. I was just reading through some of the Discord and update for those of you who didn't watch Vivian's stream earlier. Pack One was playing the Colettos, and it does look like Pack One wins that matchup. All three maps, unfortunately, for the Colettos. 12-4. Subway was 4-0. Cargo they put down 4-3, so good job there. And Downfall Day was 4-1. So Colettos definitely still improving, still showing that grit, and obviously still having fun in the middle of all that.
They probably have the most fun out of any team.
I would say that's probably pretty fair. Them or I don't know. Danglers have a lot of fun when they play. And that's
Animal House too, like them. Danglers and Animal House,
I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough call, really. I honestly think I would have to give it to Animal House though, over anyone.
Yeah, well, when you got someone like Steven on the team, it's gonna be a party. The party follows Steven. And you got Willow as well. Willow's always a fun person to hang around.
Oh yeah. See him in a dress.
Oh boy.
No, he put on a dress one night after having quite a bit too much to drink, I believe, and he was wrecking people in that lobby that night while wearing a dress, and every time he'd kill you, he'd run by just laughing his ass off, saying, "You got killed by a guy in a dress, ha 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 ha," and then would run off. It was tough. It was tough to be in that lobby that night, getting killed by a man in a dress.
Hey, 2019, you know?
It's true.
Should probably watch the profanity, but whatever.
Filter's broken today.
There it is.
I'll pay into the swear jar, I guess.
We should probably have a Venmo for that set up or something. A bit of a massive spread actually coming out of Mayhem here as they once again try to surround the objective, but this is pretty much the exact same thing that they did last time, and it did not work to any avail last time, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, it didn't end up working for them, but there were some key things that could have been done differently, which could have made that a bit more successful. Also, this is a different objective, so it might play into their favor more. Stand by. Let's see here. Gunning on Empty's defense. It's good. It's on top of the objective, with the exception of that one man who's down in the southwest, whose more than likely job is going to be to watch for the valley and ridge exits. But otherwise, yeah, it's a fairly meta defense, position on the truck, one inside on the objective, one on the 2-story headquarters building, and then one in the hotel back watching the objective. So, yeah, I don't really see where it's going to cause too much issue for gunning on Empty, but yeah, Mayhem might have an issue being able to execute here because it is such a solid defense, but we'll have to see. Mayhem can pull some impressive stuff out every now and then.
And they are a team of very skilled players, so I would not count them out for the count here. Folks, first challenge here is going to have to get past Beardsteak. If I'm thinking he's exactly where he is, but no, I'm actually wrong. He's actually hanging out in that basement waiting for someone. Ooh, and Beardsteak's actually in a really punishing position. He's hanging out in that basement right here. And that's such an awkward place to look because your line of sight's this way. Like toward Marsac Towers, and you're not even focusing on the basement. So that's really, that could be punishing.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting change to a pretty common position, but it could also just be that he's normally sitting in that window watching south towards the Center Hotel. But instead, because it's a bit earlier on in the round and they haven't seen anyone just yet, maybe he's backed off to try and catch someone pushing across that doorway, going for the objective on a quick, negligent push.
Hateabot was able to call out the member of Gunning on Empty who's in the church. More shots coming out from him as he tries to pre-fire into places that are normally defended, but not so this time.
Do not forget the guy in southwest.
And Bogue is beginning to make his very slow approach up onto Beardsteak's position.
Yeah, he's got to, though. If he doesn't, Beardsteak gonna hear it all day, be ready for it, waiting at the doorway.
Beardsteak probably knows exactly where Bogue is now. He gave away his position.
Yep, gotta say, there's no denying he's there now.
All
But it
attempts
looks
at
like
stealth have gone amiss. The smokes come out to pressure Dirt Diver. And Potato Pot
Cool
finds
Breeze.
Breeze.
Yeah, Breeze was the one that was near that body / ice cream truck, and he was out in the open, so there was definitely no way in heck they were going to do that. Dirt Diver's going to be pushing out from the center hotel. No, he's checking the center hotel, and Wookie's right there. If Death looks out, he can find him, but Wookie's not going to see it. Dirt's going to come in and find the refrag. But that key defense off the objective. Technic's going to take down the member on the objective. This objective is wide open now. Dirt Diver's going to be on a rotation back. He's more than likely going to get caught out in the open. I doubt that Mayhem's going to go for this cap, but more than likely I would. Go around the other side, James. You got it. If you go that way, oh, he's going to go in, but no. Potato Bot will find the kill, and the Dirt Diver tying things up here on the map 2-2. And now we're trading Marsoc rounds.
Downfall has a tendency to do that, where the objective seems to have a bit of a bias toward one way, and then they have a bias the other way.
Well, that was some amazing stuff there from Mayhem, I must say. You know, the cap on, or the pick onto Cool Breeze starts things off. Then you got Wookie getting that clutch pick onto the member who was downstairs. I forget who it was now. Oh, it was Lord Beardsteak. That was down
yeah.
there. So they were able to take him down. Now, unfortunately, you know, unfortunately for them, Dirt Diver was able to pop out and get that kill into Wookie, who was primed and set to make a cap there from that push. But then the refrag comes out, then refrag after refrag after refrag, until finally Dirt Diver is taken down at the end. Great play and well executed from Mayhem there. A great way to kind of bring things back, because if they'd have lost that one, Gunning on Empty would be sitting on a 3-1 right now. They'd be on a throwaway round. They could give away this Marsoc round and still be able to come back and win on the next one. So good for Mayhem for stopping that bleeding and not letting too much momentum get on the side of Gunning on Empty. But Gunning on Empty now going to have to prove it again on Marsoc, and that is not easy on this map.
No, it is not, and Gunning on Empty, if they just cap here, they can stay in this to win this. This isn't a map for them to win the whole game, but this is the map where they need to win it if they want to even have a chance to.
Yeah, that's right. That is right.
We head into round 5 here. No caps have ever come out in this entirety of this game here. But now is the chance for Gunning on Empty to do so. They want to end this nonsense here and now. Very standard defense coming out of Mayhem. Relatively as tight as Downfall lets. And we say tight, but Downfall is not really a tight map.
No, at least not unless you get like the dumpster building objective or the... I mean, I guess you could consider the one you have now a tight playable defense, but yeah, there's really not... I mean, tight defense on Downfall is basically throwing everybody in the same building.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, let's... Just gonna go hang out next to James Boak so I can listen to him speak.
He has a very nice voice.
Hey James, just FYI, it might be easier if instead of pulling that tablet out and putting it back often, You're on defense. Just take that bad boy out and set it on the ground. You don't need to keep pulling it out, putting it back. If anything, that's going to end up getting you killed because you're going to end up doing it at the wrong time and getting shot in the buttocks like Forrest Gump.
On the side in that dark room.
As I finally found James Boak for the viewers. And listen to him. Cast the match. Technic does fight PTJs, who was on that north side. It is now a 4.5v4. But as I say that, Dirt Diver finds Wookie and Technic finds Arno. But neither of Gunning on Empty have been completely confirmed out until now. Technic does find the confirm on PTJs. I'm actually going to stop watching James right now just to follow this action. It all seems to be happening on the north side. Speaking of the north side, the entire north push from Gunning on Empty has been shut down. It is now up to the remaining 3.
I'm assuming those picks all came from Technic and his sniper rifle.
Probably. He's kind of filled in for Defilade in the sniper role here.
Yeah, he really has. And he's doing it with that G3, which is awesome because if James Boak wanted to, because I know James likes to run those LMGs as well. Well, nope, that's a missed opportunity. Okay, yeah, teams, if you want to run a G3 for sniper, you should run a G3 auto class, submachine gunner class, or not submachine gunner, machine gunner, light machine gunner class.
You can give your sniper a drum mag.
Exactly, and then they can just sit up in their little hidey hole forever, just pinging people with bullets. But also, just I love.
Potato finds Dirt Diver in the hotel. It is now up to Cool Breeze and Friend to attack this objective with 4 people on thing. I forgot his name. I didn't want to.
Beard Steak.
Oh, it's Beard Steak. Okay. I couldn't read it from that far away. I didn't feel like zooming in.
I have that problem too. I'll start reading out and then I'm like, oh crap, I can't read the person that's far away.
Just call him a friend.
Just call him a friend. Thank you for being a friend.
Potato and Breeze here are in a bit of a Mexican standoff here without really knowing it. Takes for one to peek on the other, but Breeze actually chooses to give up that position, which really leaves him so exposed, especially with the location of Mayhem as of right now. Probably to be in his best interest to find a better position.
Well, I'm not sure he's going to be able to find much of one. They're going to have to go towards the West Street, at least Cool Breeze is, to be able to make any progress. Or they're going to have to smoke out that little gap as fully, as possible. Because Capitano, again, talking about someone who's too far away for me to read their name, Capitano is up in that north dark room. And, okay, before I even get a chance to finish explaining what he's going to do, he gets a kill, Potato Bot gets a kill, and that's it. Mayhem take the round.
Done and done.
Done and done.
You get a point. Okay, there we go. Mayhem are on match point here, and they are on Marsoc. A potential for 5 points, but I have a feeling they're not going to go for that. They have been a little cautious when it comes to getting onto objective and trying to find the picks instead. I think they're probably going to continue with that. We will have the same objective for this round here. So we head into round 6. No caps have come out, but now is the time for Mayhem to go all out extra.
All out extra.
All out extra on Gunning on Empty.
No basic B strategies around here, Mayhem. You better bring the heat. No, but see, okay, this is exactly what I was saying that Mayhem did not want gunning on empty to have in the last round, which is this throwaway round, which Mayhem now has. So Mayhem, they don't have to convert here. They don't have to get their point here to close out the map. They can actually afford to lose this one and still be able to take it on the next objective on defense. However, because that objective will change, who's to say if it will be an objective that goes in their favor? More than likely, though, it's going to go to that two-story Volk headquarters building near the Volk Tower, and that's one of, if not the most difficult objective to attack on this map with the right defensive layouts. And so that pretty much, I wouldn't say guarantees, but it solidifies a Mayhem win if they don't happen to get it here on Marsoc. We have seen them able to convert once today on Marsoc. Let's see if they can do it again.
And Mayhem actually opting to go with a 2-1-2 push here in order to get good coverage around objective. And the far east side is literally at the map bound. Like, I could not get my camera to go further than where they were. Really cool to see how these teams are like using the fullest extent of the map here, especially when it comes to terrain, in order to get as much of a strategic advantage as they can.
The tick, FYI. Cannot be more specific than that. One came out of White House.
Man, I gotta say, Mayhem are the most consistent with using that back ridge line, that southern ridge line, the mountainside there.
Can we get a little bit lower? I need a clear dark room. Careful.
I wish that we could see down the scope of these 12 times,
Yeah.
but we can't, sadly. So you just have to imagine it as it happens.
PT Jace is in a terrible position here. Way out in the open. He will find James Boak and down him. No, sorry, take him down, but honestly kind of surprised. There we go. The shots from Wookiee now coming out. And his very, very out in the open defensive position has been neutralized.
Yeah, and gunning on empty will know that Mayhem once again have just taken this ridgeline, which they're just so known for taking. Wookiee gets caught out by dirt, but he is not out for the count. Once again, I was talking before about how Mayhem like to use the fullest extent of the map. The viewers may note the awkward camera angle right now, and that is because I physically cannot move back any further than where Technic is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be something maybe we can discuss with the devs later. And now Dirt Diver gonna pop out and find Technic.
He's second floor.
Doing the call out as he rolls down the hill.
That was great. It's like a kid rolling down a hill.
Just so nonchalantly, like, yeah, I didn't get him. Oh man, I love that.
That was great.
I hope
Yeah,
someone
but now
clips that. I hope someone
both
clips that.
members of Mayhem laying on their backs on the ridge line in the south, and it's just the two active members, Potato and Capitano here. Potato actually is going to manage to find a shot onto Dirt Diver, which is quite impressive considering where Dirt Diver was. I'm sure he rotated, but yeah, Mayhem still has a lot of work cut out for them. They're not going to be able to get Wookiee and Technic up on the ridge line. There's just no time.
There's no time, and there's no way that you could possibly get there. It's covered. There's an entire line of people there defending and doing their job.
Yeah, Cool Breeze is going to be tough enough to get by as it is. let alone try and get around him and get the res. Plus, they have less than a minute left, so if Mayhem doesn't get going, they're gonna end up taking that takeaway round, whether they want to or not, and trying to bring it in on defense next time.
Yeah, and the good news is, to Mayhem's advantage, they have two people providing excellent call-out points, or like they have great spots for call-outs, where as Gunning on Empty are a little bit blind right now.
Nice smoke there from Cool Breeze. It's gonna be a oh, that one will help though. Cool Breeze now, or sorry, a smoke onto Cool Breeze from Mayhem. That should give Mayhem the chance to get by him, but they need to take it before the smoke runs out. Capitano's
There's only 8 seconds left. This is not going to happen. No one has checked their tablets. Gunning on Empty will take a freebie.
That they will, and I can say that this is not the first time I have seen Mayhem run out or close to run out of time. So that is, I think, time management still definitely something that they should be working on, because it's not quite there just yet. I mean, you don't want that happening again, because maybe with another minute, those two actually had something worth possibly being able to knock out, but because it had to be so rushed, and I mean, even with the rush, they still didn't even make it to the area in time for it. So it's a tough one to say, but I think Mayhem, I think it's one of the things maybe to work on going forward will be time management, because you're executing your plays well, it's just some of them aren't executed in time.
Our next objective will be the helicopter objective, or the helicopter 2-story objective, excuse me. Who do you think is more likely to come out of this here on this objective from what we've seen so far?
I'm going to give it to Mayhem. And the only reason I'm going to do that is because they're on defense, and the defenses have been just so tight. I don't have any other reasoning than that. Like, Mayhem's defense have been solid. Yeah, they've had a few rounds where they weren't, but yeah, I think overall they've been very, very successful on defense, and I expect that to follow through here in this, especially knowing that they have the series on the line and they can close it off right here, right now with this map, with this round. They can shut down the series and then take a break on map 3. And we saw them do that in their game against Blaze whoever they played last week. I just covered it in a V Respawn episode. I still can't remember. But once they got into map 3, they were able to kind of take their foot off the accelerator a little bit and relax just a bit. And I think they really appreciated being able to take that pressure off.
Yeah, being able to secure yourself a win on map 2 is just a phenomenal feeling. You see to enjoy some, good old Onward as the other team is forced to fight it out after they're lost. And a massive push has come out from the north side. They are already gunning on Empty is already on Mayhem's doorstep here. Mayhem is actually choosing not to take any risks here. They really want this win, and they are not doing any kind of peeking toward the east.
They don't need to. Why? Like, why risk it? It's not worth it. I mean, it's not like this is a championship game or anything. It's not like we're deciding titles here with this one match, but everything counts. We're midway through the season, so the losses are going to start to affect you a little bit more now than they would at the beginning of the season. That's why you want to try and get those early challenges, those difficult challenges out of the way early in the season, because you can afford to take those losses and recuperate over the course of the season. You start taking too many of those losses now, and you're just tumbling down the leaderboards, unfortunately.
MT once again being very meticulous about how they approach objective.
Well, I'm going to tell you now. If they can't pick Technic and James Boak, they have no chance at this objective.
Oh yeah, no. Boak and Technic have very
Well,
good views
I mean,
of
I
the
say
lanes
that,
that
but
I have to be.
realistically, the south and the western push could come up the street and get in the basement. But I don't know. The way Mayhem's playing safe, I don't see that happening.
C4 going off. Boak knows Beardsteak is there. Beardsteak rushes in. A trade comes out, but Boak is still resable. The calls will come out from Boak, but I don't think any of Mayhem are actually going to go for this res. It's a little too dangerous.
Yeah, way too risky to go for. No need to do it. Boak can sit there and give call-outs. He can watch the objective for a cap if one happens from the outside. If they happen to lose Technic in that crater building, James Boak will still be there and be able to call out the cap attempt inbound. It seems like maybe they're going to try and sneak Cool Breeze up with a crawl to the objective. Dirt Diver will find Technic, but Let Wookie Win will come around and find the refrag almost immediately. Mayhem are down to 3, gunning on empty with 3. A little less than 3 minutes left. There's 3s all over the place. It's 3-3. Mayhem with 3, gunning on empty on 3. 3 minutes left, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. What's going to happen?
Find out next time on Honor Mat. No, I'm kidding. We're not going
Find
anywhere.
out next time on Onward Master League.
Now, if this was Honor Master League 3, that would have been the perfect set of 3s. But it's not. We're on OML 2.
Yep.
Sorry, ladies and gents. We ruined it.
You know, I'm not even sure why we put this on 2, because I don't think there was another game going on tonight. So this should have went on 1. But oh well. That's fine. We need to spread the love onto the second channel as well. Get the biddy abilities. Oh wait, we have that on this channel, don't we? Yes, we do.
Shots coming out. Wookie finds Arno. It's actually a trade.
Yeah, Wookie took a while to hit those shots, and so Arno able to line up a nice headshot. But uh-oh.
A little too late. Gunning on empty and Mayhem are both too strong, with the exception of Boak being able to call out where things are happening. And
That potato
Cappy,
bot pick just now was clutch, because if not, Cool Breeze was really, really close there.
PT Jace is the man who's going to make it or break it for Mayhem here. An excellent rotation coming out of Capitano, since Potato Bot has that entrance basically covered for the most part. The worst thing that can happen is that PT Jace gets past Capitano and chooses to go to the north side, but I'm sorry, gets past Potato Bot and gets to the north side, but Capitano has to be ready for this rotation here, but that is no longer a fear. Mayhem take map 2 and the game, but we stick around, everybody. We still have fighting for the MMR.
That is right. Series has been decided, as TFH just said. I hope they go to a small map.
That'd be awesome. I could use a bit of that small map love right now.
Yeah, I could use a nice cargo at this point.
Well, cargo
Nice
has
cargo.
not been banned, so your wish may come true. Oh, but it doesn't. The third and
Why do
final
they-
map will be Subway.
I wonder if have the devs taken that old spawn room from Volk? You remember the old Volk spawn where you'd have to run down the hallway forever to get to the north
Oh, yeah.
turnstiles?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
remember
area still accessible?
I believe it is.
I don't know why you would need to use it, but
Well, I've seen some people use it for defense.
I've seen them use the hallway for defense, yeah, but never like going all the way back to where that actual room was. Is really what I'm asking.
No, I haven't seen them go all the way back to that room, but it is a nice room. They should just keep it there, just as an Easter egg. Just for nostalgia, you know? Be able to go to your kids and, like, years later say, like, I remember when I had to spawn here.
Back in my day, we used to have to spawn into the subway and run to the north turnstiles.
And they can get there before I'm not going to do an old person impression.
And they could get there before us, making it impossible for it to defend.
Heard it from him.
You just have to have no fear. Just jump into it.
It's not the no fear part, it's energy.
Oh. Well, that's a discussion for a different day.
Ooh. And we will actually be jumping right on into this. Map 1. First objective will be the basement. As I've completely put the camera in the wrong spot. There we go. Subway is not forgiving for cameramen.
It is not. I actually completely dislike casting this map because it is so... Well, because we're so confined. Like, if I had a ghost camera that I could fly through the floors and the walls, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But it's quite frustrating. I gotta be honest to cast in this map.
There's some cool shots though that I like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can get some great angles.
I had a beam.
That's for sure. Yeah, and then you say that, and then you hit a pole.
Yeah, there's some cool shots. I hit a beam. The push from Mayhem here will be to the downstairs, wasting no time whatsoever.
I like the use of the flashlights from Mayhem here, though, trying to counter night vision from the enemy.
The question here is, I'm going to try to figure out here is there any C4s that have been placed? Dirt is using... Oh, there is. He has a clicker in his hand. So there is a C4 somewhere, and there it is. It's on the ceiling. I don't think Mayhem will have any chance to disarm that.
Wait, where is it? Oh, it's above the door. Okay.
Above the door. Yeah, right by the light. Wookie is right there. He's making noise. He's probably going to go down right now. Yep.
Oh, he almost got that kill, though. That was... Oh, man. Seth almost lost that one.
Trade comes out. Potato Bot is resable.
Pick me up, pick me up, pick me up.
James gets the confirmation, and Potato goes back up. It is now a 4v4 for Mayhem and gunning on empty.
Yeah, though, I'm not sure I would continue to push this way, seeing as the rest of the gunning on empty defense is all downstairs waiting for this exact push. I think maybe Mayhem could slow it down here. James Boak and Potato Bot just wait now as their remaining members, Technic and Capitano, work their way down from upstairs.
I know that we have an excellent vision, but oh, that was a great shot from Potato Bot into Cool Breeze. He knew exactly where that was happening. I was about to mention that Breeze is in such a good spot because he's right behind that ramp that he almost blends in, but good on Potato Bot's keen eyes for spotting that out.
Grab any smoke and use it.
Honestly, sitting here listening to James Boak communicate, I honestly feel like it gives me very squad tactic training type vibes. Like, James has a way of communicating, and they have a way of discussing things that just makes me feel like they are an actual unit.
Well, the push is coming out along the tracks. More smokes coming out. Pre-fire actually from James, but not going to find anyone. There's only 2 members of Gunning on Empty left defending the bottom. Actually, no, there's 3 now.
There's 3. Yeah, there's 3. They've had all 5 downstairs the whole time.
Jace finds Technic down to a 3v3. Beardsteak goes for a rotation, but might get caught out by Boak here if he's not careful. And that's how it works.
1. He's gonna find 2.
But then goes down himself. Capitano is in a great spot now as there's only 1 remaining member of Gunning on Empty left, and he just gave away his position.
Yeah, he sure did. Capitano, though, very careful about that corner, though. He knows that he watched his teammate die, but Potato Bot coming in from the other side will find Arno, and Mayhem will grab a Marsoc.
And a high five comes out from Mayhem. Just had to call out that high five that was happening. That's the most important part. You may continue. I kind of interrupted you.
Oh no, it's fine now. No, I was pretty much done saying what I was gonna say. He gets the kill, they get the round, and yeah, they go up. I mean, Mayhem has just been converting very well on Marsoc right now. I think they're probably one of the most efficient teams on Marsoc.
Yeah, they have
to be completely honest with you,
they have a very good offensive capability.
I'm not saying that they always get a cap, but what I am saying is that a lot of times their Marsoc rounds are successful, even when, you know, just going for the kill. So that is why I'm still very impressed with Mayhem, and I will continue to fangirl over them until they start to become poopy. But if they just listen to me, kid, I'll take them far.
Old man Sleepy going at it again. More like 50 Sleepy, but
News from the Pacific. Our boys have landed in Midway and have made good progress getting up the beaches. I tried to tell the guys from Phaserlock that I'd do voiceover for their little unit reels that they've been putting out. Do it in like that old 40s newsreel voice.
you should do it. Yeah, Facelock, get on this, man.
Today in Germany, the Stuttgart made its grand appearance on the battlefield.
Meanwhile, in the subway of New York, the Australian Defensive Terrorist Organization is making their defense over this satellite dish that's happening right here. I'm not as good as it. You should just.
Now we'll go to the streets of New York, where Mayhem, this Volk terrorist group, is going to be trying to defend their satellite TV from the Americans. Let's find out what happens, folks. Tune in next time as we check out the newsreels here on Newsweek. Okay, that's enough of that. I don't know who gave me the ability to do voices, but they should never have done that.
No, they shouldn't. That was a huge mistake.
God, you f***ed up. Oh boy. Please don't at me with a bunch of religious stuff, guys. I'm not religious, so I don't care. I don't mind if you are, but don't at me with religious stuff, because I just don't care.
All professionality has been lost.
It's not professionality, I just...
Oh, almost left the overlay on this time, but I caught it.
Oh, Mr. I don't do overlays. Just kidding.
Hey, I caught it. That's the key part. And right as the action begins, Let Wookie win, finds PT Jace. That's making it a little bit easier for Mayhem's tall order here. And Beardsteak actually made it down. He finds a kill on Potato Bot. They trade, but Technic's able to make sure that nothing else ever happens on that front. Gunning on Empty have chosen actually to focus their attack now on the south stairwell. I'm sorry, no, that is incorrect. They're actually choosing to go through they're underground.
They're pretty much a typical standard meta entrance to this objective anymore. Really don't see too many people using the stairs as the primary point of entry. Cool Breeze and Dirt Diver now entering the doorway. Will James Boak be able to see them in time? He might have saw the shoulder of Cool Breeze, but some missed shots from him will allow James Boak to get back and find the kill. Dirt Diver going to be looking for the refrag, as James Boak more than likely will get a little greedy and check it again.
And the trade comes out.
Early initial missed shots, and Dirt Diver will be traded with James Boak, but Boak will be able to be revived.
Arno, the last remaining member of the Gunning on Empty squad here, is beginning to make his thing down here, but Wookie will see him and they will trade, and Mayhem will take their second round on this map.
Wow, Mayhem are
causing some mayhem.
They're really opening up the gap here on Subway. I don't know, maybe Gunning on Empty was like, okay, well, we're tired. Let's just get this over with. I'm done for the night, or or if Mayhem has just, got the plays to.
Well, it's 10 in
that's
the
gonna make a rhyme.
morning for a good amount of the gunning on empty squads. Since a lot of them are on Australia.
Sure.
Unless that's assuming like Perth time, because Perth is like on the exact opposite time zone from where I am. But they could be a bunch of people from like the Sydney time zone or whatnot. It could be a little off, but basically it is almost midday for them right now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is like one of their designated times that they can play. Seth has made that pretty clear, like because of their odd chemistry of being, a couple strands and then a couple of East Coasters from the U.S. It's difficult to schedule, so this is like one of their available times. So while it's early in the morning, that's not an excuse to me, because this is Gunning on Empty's available time, so they should be primed and ready to play at their best times, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to make any excuse for them for that. I think Mayhem has just put up a better fight tonight, and I'm not saying Gunning on Empty hasn't put up a great fight. This match has been a close one. Downfall was definitely, it was a long one, and it wasn't just because the plays took a while, but also because the matches were good. Now it seems Mayhem just has a better answer on Subway. I don't really think time or anything has anything to do with it. I think Mayhem has just managed to squeak out a better game than Gunning on Empty, unfortunately.
Technic is choosing to go up the stairwell here. Will he see the odd man out on the... Ooh, a smoke actually. No, it's a flash. That's a flash coming out. Might not have caught the member. Oh, it doesn't, as Dirt Diver's able to find Technic with the C4. Standard Seth move here. Diver almost pitches out another one, but Capitano chooses not to go not to continue on that push there. This Diver has successfully managed to defend that entranceway. Matter of fact, he's actually going to punish and follow up.
Nah, he's not that crazy.
Having one heck of a follow-up, though, if he did.
Oh yeah, he would have been on the chase. He would have ended up getting picked as he ran into him unsuspectingly. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about that a couple of times this season. You can't just go chasing the last defender with one man at a time, because you're going to lose the advantage.
Wookiee's actually chosen to go across the catwalk, which almost gives him a really good view of the objective defense. I think he sees someone. Yes, he does. He finds PG Jace, downs it, but does not confirm him. He actually chooses to go out the same way. Potato Pot does find Dirt Diver. Gunning Empty only have 2 members left up. 2.5 officially. Not anymore. With 3 of Mayhem to attack objective.
Arno, from a decent position off the south side of the subway, does manage to come back and find a refrag onto Wookiee. That'll even out the playing field for Mayhem. 2-2. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Mayhem do still have plenty of time here to work with, and as does Gunning on Empty, have plenty of time to frantically sit in a corner and wonder when are they going to come. This is not a good spot, though. They need to find a new position to watch over this objective, because if they manage to sneak in behind that sign, which is exactly the route that they have ability to, they can cap from behind the subway route sign. They don't have to be out in the open there.
Yeah, it is Beard Steak and Arno. It is the core Gunning on Empty squad.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm not saying that they're not capable of shutting it down. I'm just saying that they need to watch their angles, because if they're not careful, there is an unseen path here that could get Mayhem the cap and get them the win. Yeah, what they really need to do now is let Capitano keep their attention while Potato Bot pops up that other stairwell. He should have eyes on both of them from there. He's definitely going to see Arno. There's one. And there's the second one. Mayhem
nice
find
double.
and convert on a third point. Potato Bot, just a man on fire. He's 6-1 right now on the map. James Boak also doing quite well here with 5 and 2. Wow. Mayhem really putting the hurting on gunning on empty here on Subway.
Not even giving them a point. The current score line is 11-4. Pretty decisive, at least MMR wise.
Yes. Yeah, it will be. I mean, unless gunning on empty come back and do a 4-0 swing here. Well, not a 4-0 swing, but a 4-point swing to take this map. It's going to be a well, I mean, it all depends too. Who's the higher ranked? How big is that rank difference? You know, there's a couple of other factors other than just the score in the match to decide point outcome. So, you know, Mayhem may not be gaining very much. Gunning on empty might not lose very much. You know, it's going to be when Mayhem starts pulling out wins against a team like, I don't know, Danglers or Blaze or SMC, Animal House, you know, any of the teams that are ranked above them, that they'll really start to pick up any sort of MMR that's going to be worth it. I mean, obviously they'll pick up here and there with the closer ranked matchups, but the ones where they are the underdog, if they manage to win those, that's how they're really going to be able to kind of come out and take it.
We will be going into round 4 now. Same objective as before, because we have mirroring objectives. This time, gunning on empty will be on the attack. Try to get themselves their first point if they want to. They want to at least answer back on this map. Shots coming out. Arno gets caught out by Potato Bot, but Breeze is able to get the refrag. A big push from Mayhem, actually, to go that far down south. Really predictive as well, as all 5 members of Gunning on Empty chose to go south as well. Some latency coming out of Gunning on Empty, and I believe PT is on objective.
What? Wow. Mayhem not going to be happy about that.
No, the first cap of the day comes out when it didn't matter at all.
Well, it still matters to Gunning on Empty. I mean, that score line will determine their losses and loss differences, but yeah, I mean, wow, an impressive play, and Gunning and Mayhem wasn't even ready. Did they even have a defender?
I don't think they were ready for that
Near the
5-person
objective?
push. No, no one even shot at him. He just kind of walked up, took his tablet out. I didn't even recognize what was going on because I wasn't even noticing any kind of counter aggression.
Man, 300 IQ play right there, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, what's a good IQ number? I always say these numbers like I know what good numbers are.
Million.
Obviously, my IQ number is not good.
Like 1 billion. Infinite IQ. I don't know either. We'll let chat educate us on this.
I try not to let chat educate me on anything because more than likely it's not right.
Well, I feel like it's better than Wikipedia.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Maybe. Alright, we will have the upstairs objective as we pop into round 5 this time. We will have a 2-2-1 push. One person opted to go down into the basement and attack from what is normally the Marsoc spawn point.
Over here on the south side, we've got James Boak and Potato Bot running side by side. Once again, Dirt Diver going to be down the... They called him out by name. Oh, man.
I mean, Seth does have a very distinctive voice.
Well,
very
he hasn't-
distinctive
They've been no.
twang.
James has been calling people out by name in their position all night. Let Wookie win and Cool Breeze on the opposite side of the map. Going to trade things out. Capitano will be there to get the res onto Wookie, however.
Smoke comes out.
Will it cause the peak from Dirt Diver? It does, and the trade comes out. Both members of both teams are completely taken down. Potato Bot will be free and clear, though, to push up this alley. If I were him, though, I'd start turning off that flashlight, because it's going to start letting people know, letting the enemy team know that you're coming down that alley.
They might be using it to
Grenade
try to blind night vision.
Well, I get that. I think that's a great idea, but I don't think in this long alleyway it's going to have the same effect as it would downstairs. Oh, and PT Jace is going to actually pick up a nice
double of Wookie and Capitano, bringing it to a 3v2, gunning on Empty's advantage. This might actually turn up to be a tie here.
Well, they might walk back 4 points. You're right, but it will be tested in the next round, because even if they do manage to take this one, PT Jace goes down to a trade with Potato Bot. Potato Bot downing instantly from a headshot. But yeah, I mean, even if gunning on Empty win this one, Mayhem still goes to the defensive on the next round, and so long as they don't do what they did in the, in round 2 or round 3, which is completely abandon the objective, then they should be good.
Like you said before, they could just be, chilling out and not even, not taking it as seriously, but
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. Mayhem could have pulled back on the accelerator a little bit, because maybe they wasted a lot of energy trying to secure those first 2 maps, and they want to take a break now and maybe back things off a little bit. But I don't think they want to lose the map either. So
they are in a good position right now. And Jace is actually going around on the flank, so this makes Technic's job a lot easier. Matter of fact, if he's able to get this double here, he might be able to go for the cap.
no, he's not gonna have the time.
Jace
He's
is too speedy.
moving a bit too slow, and Jace is he's
coming
flying.
around. Oh yeah, Jace has become much more of a threat within 10 seconds here. And there you go. It is a 3-3 scoreline right now. Gunning an Empty from going. Yeah, you can actually.
I just want to note where Technic died. You just want to hit camera 2.
Yeah, man.
Technic, this is not the time for nudie movie stops, okay? you gotta finish the map, then you can go to the nudie movie store, okay? Jeez, those Mayhem guys are just
They're just a wild bunch.
Animals.
They are just a wild bunch. On to more serious things. Gunning on Empty have even their scoreline now to 3-3, potentially getting themselves at least a map win here, depending on who wins this next objective, provided none of Mayhem get distracted by certain promiscuous shops. We will be heading into our final round here, round 6. Right now.
Right now.
Right now. Tight defense goes out. I think someone tossed a C4 as well. Oh, yes, they did. Look at that placement. That takes some arm. Speaking of good arm, James Boak finds PT Jace off down the angle there, making Mayhem's order look a lot easier. And a nice double on a nade. Both of them are only down, so if one of the Mayhem guys goes to confirm it, that could be catastrophic. None of them are choosing to go further down there, and I don't think any of them are going to get res. They're just, everyone else is too far away to even remotely try that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're basically like down the street. It's just too long of a well, it's not too long of a rotation. They got 5 minutes left, so they
They
could
do have
go
five.
for
They
it.
could, but knowing how gunning on empty plays, they like to have everything under their control and take things the way that they want to. They don't want to have to kind of do these random things. And James Boak is able to get both of those confirmed, so it doesn't matter anymore. Running empty are not looking good for map 3 here, just off of that one nade. Already down 3. Data Bob will find Dirt Diver. Will he find the refrag on Breeze? Breeze knows exactly where he is, but it doesn't matter. He does. And Mayhem finish off with a perfect round, 5 strong. And secure their 3rd map.
And all the maps, for that matter. But yes, great play there from Mayhem overall, and a great game overall. So
Yeah.
you know, also excellent rounds there from gunning on empty as well. So yeah,
Final scoreline is 12-7. Very close games, even though the scoreline doesn't really represent it. But there were a lot of points where gunning empty could have taken it. Wouldn't you say?
yeah, no, there were. I mean, for a minute there, I thought Downfall could have swung back in the way of gunning on empty. So I was definitely I was undecided on who I thought would end up taking that one. And then yeah, here on Subway, we saw them super ninja sneak cap that I don't even know if you got the camera over to it.
I had
didn't
it.
get my camera there.
I got it over there, yeah. Just in time.
Good. Yeah, because I couldn't get there fast enough when she said it. But yeah, I mean, I think there were a couple of times where Mayhem, and I'm sure if you asked Mayhem the same thing, they'd say the same, that there were a couple of times Mayhem were threatened, yeah.
Well, I think we're going to call it here. Keep in mind, everything that we do is sponsored by Protein VR and VR Cover. If you are interested in joining the VRML or being a part of it, please visit our website, onwardvrml.com, where you can sign up.
That's wrong.
Is it .org?
No,
It's
just not right.
VRML.com. Yeah, okay, I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't
If you
know
wanna go to
anything.
the
You go now. You
just
do
shut
it.
up, Todd. Shut up, Todd. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. We really appreciate you guys stopping in for another installation of Friday Night Fights here on Onward Master League. Big shout out to our sponsors, Pro2 VR and VR Cover, 2 of the best quality of life accessory upgrades to your VR experience that you can. So be sure and check them out. Also, if you want to get involved, you want to become a caster, you want to be a player, reservist, become a moderator, or for any of the other games, you can go to vrmasterleague.com. That's the main page where you can find all of our games. But if you want Onward specifically, vrmasterleague.com/onward. So be sure and check that out, folks. But that's going to be it for us tonight. Of course, your host this evening was TFH, and I was sitting here just talking to myself, basically. I'm sleepy. We'll see you guys the rest of this weekend. We do have some more matches coming up on all the channels this weekend. So stay tuned, everybody. Keep on those notifications, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.